of the Red River. You can see they've got some signs now telling you about some of these invasive species. And of course you got the sign here telling you about the horn signaling, but right now the generation scheduled talking about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon is when they plan on generating into the evening. So this is what it looks like when it's not generating. It's much different than what yours truly used to fish before they did all the dredging. I do like how they rearranged all the rocks and everything and the grading to where there's a nice flat area. And unfortunately, if I go down below, I'd show you more, but we'll lose connectivity because you get at least some connectivity up here, but when you go down there, it's hit or miss with your phones. So I just want to give you a little overview of the dam on the Texas side. Do see a lot of folks on the Oklahoma side fishing. Saw some boats out there as well as a number of kayaks also hooking up. And then we had one individual who even hooked us up with a fish, a striped bass, fishing topwater this morning. So it looked like the topwater bite was good. It pretty much has been like this. No current flow other than the winds and whatnot, and just a few, I guess, whatever comes out of the dam when they have everything shut down. I think there's this little trickle of water and whatnot going through. But anyways, this is Denison Dam. Let me go show you the striped bass that they gave me. I'll put it back over here. Gonna do a little cook maybe later, enough to maybe have a little din. So here it is right here. Okay, this was caught on a top water. It goes about maybe 18 inch, so not bad for Denison Dam striper. However, I did see the individual also lose some bigger ones this morning, so they were here. Just unfortunately they weren't on the end of my rod. So let's go walk around a little and kind of give you a layout of the area. All right, so this is the Texas side. That's the Oklahoma side. Different rules apply, but it's Red River rules here. So there's no size limit for striped bass. There's just a quantity, that's 5, and there's no culling. So you put it on your stringer, guess what? You're gonna have to keep them. Also, if you're on the Oklahoma side, you're gonna have to tag your stringer with your Oklahoma license and your name. So keep that in your back pocket when you're fishing on the Oklahoma side. So consider the Oklahoma side be in the water also, even though we're on the Texas side. Oklahoma rules apply when it comes to the river proper. So bottom line, look up in the regs. Latest one says you can fish with a Texas license from the dam all the way down river to Shawnee Creek. Shawnee Creek is the spillway river or whatever's creek. When the dam overflows, that's where the water flows through. It's just back there. You can't miss it. You'll run into a creek and you can't keep going any further. So if you keep going down further, you're going to have an Oklahoma license. The other thing is if you do step in the water, that is considered Oklahoma also. So even if you're on the Texas side and you start wade fishing in the water, make sure you have that Oklahoma license. I know the license went up in Oklahoma this year, so heads up, I haven't gotten mine done yet, but I eventually will because I really like the trout fishing over there. All right. There is supposed to be some thunderstorms later on this afternoon, so it may get a little wet and wild here. But other than that, there are some fish to be had here. Just a little bit different view now of the river, given that they've dredged it out and kind of moved some stuff. So that favorite spot of mine right over here, where I used to come into the water and cut over, is gone now. That little channel that flew through, I think they used to call it Charlie's Point or Charlie's Rock. That's gone. And then on the Oklahoma side, where there was a bunch of these rocks and a channel that ran in there, that's gone. It used to, you could almost walk all the way across on these rocks and cross over into the Oklahoma side, but there's that little channel that would dip in there, and that used to be like the money zone when their releasing water, and you could just cast into that area and definitely get some nice fish. And then they're still doing a lot of construction over here, so you can't really fish the Texas wall like we used to, where you get up on the wall and pretty much get close to the dam proper. Instead, you got a fence area as well as the area blocked off, so you have to walk up in there now. Other than that, this is Denison Dam when they're not releasing water or generating water. So it's really our first time out here and just kind of like doing a little scouting trip, get an understanding of the water and what it looks like when they aren't generating. I think I saw an individual down over here, downriver, fly fishing, and let's see, he was doing well last weekend when they were generating like crazy. There's like a little calmer area as you go downstream when you're fishing it, but up here, when they're generating, it's definitely a lot of current and water flow, and you may have to just kind of work the seams if you're trying for these striped bass, because you definitely hook up on the bottom pretty quickly. And then speaking of Texoma, so there's a Texoma license that's good for just the lake itself. So you come down here, you got to make sure you have the proper license, be it Texas on the Texas side, Oklahoma in the water, or on the Oklahoma side. And again, that limitation of from the dam to Shawnee Creek downriver, that is good for a Texas license. After that, you got to have an Oklahoma. Okay, so I'm on the chat here. It's on my phone. So if you have any call outs and whatnot, I'll be kind of monitoring as I step through the area. So just kind of give you a rundown of what I did this morning. Came in about maybe sunrise, about 6 o'clock. It was a quiet bite. I did see some folks doing okay with some folks with 3-4 fish on the stringer. But other than that, it hadn't been that fast, furious bite that you normally see in the mornings, especially even when they're not generating. All right, a lot of fish in the water, meaning bait fish, shad, and I guess there's these invasive species you got to watch out for. So I got this new sign over here now. Okay, talking about big head carp and silver carp, and not to take the invasive carp elsewhere as bait fish. So be very careful. All right. And it's also posted on the Oklahoma side too, that same sign. All right. All right. And there it is. Quiet. Let's just see if we can spy someone maybe catching a fish or two. Let's see. Here, let's go walk down river a little bit and see if we can get a catch of the action. I would go down below and walk the river and show you guys what's happening, but unfortunately I lose connectivity when I go down there. So let's just kind of walk it down here and see what's happening. Doing a bunch of work, construction and whatnot this past year, and you can see they've done some more stuff here. All right, I think they're gonna hype it up and make it a little park area here. That'll be cool. And then what was it, down over here there's a pretty decent spot where you can fish. Let's go over here real quick. Okay, and then that little sign says danger when horn sounds. You got a good 15 minutes before to get out of the lake if that happens. They just keep ringing that thing. You'll hear the horn sound about 4 or 5 times, giving you ample warning that the water's coming, and then it'll gradually grow. Oh, here's a nice spot. Let's go walk over here real quick where they put this concrete thing. Let's see if we can get a view of what's happening. All right, here's a better view. All right. Okay. High up on the rocks. Okay. You can see some boats down river. Okay. You can see some folks over here. Looking in the water, I'm not seeing much fish activity. Not as much as this morning that I saw. But other than that, we do know they were hitting on top water this morning, which is pretty cool watching them hit on the top. I tried different lures, rattle traps, jig and flute rigs, fish bottom, fish top, and it's been a slow go so far. Yeah. But this is it. Denison Dam, Texas. Oklahoma side is that way. This is the Texas side. That's the Red River. And I was hoping to see some fast and furious bites going on, but it looks like it's going to be a quiet one today. I really don't even see the shad moving about like they were earlier. Ah, look over there. Okay, just right over here, I get a glimpse of what looks like a gar just hanging out over there by the rocks. All right, so that's cool. The gar move about often, as well as some of the buffalo and carp. Looking at the lay of the land now, I can see those rocks over here to my left. Okay, it's definitely coming up out off the bottom. That used to have a lot more rocks. It looks like they've cleared this section here. There's a little rocky point right here, and then that area is still where the old what was it? I think it was a bait shop that got washed away one year, and there used to be like a railroad crossing, but I don't see the trellis or pilings anymore. But I think the river needs to go a little bit lower for it to be there, or maybe they cleared it up. Yeah, maybe they cleared it up. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, and there's the point on the Oklahoma side that we'll often fish. You can see now that there's a little hump in the middle, so that's good to know when it comes time to do a little fishy when they're releasing water. And then you can see how it's kind of got that sandy area there. When the water comes up, it'll go up by the rocks on the other end. You can see where it's all wet and everything. So that's that little channel area that you'll see, folks. And then you can see that little hole now. So where those individual are, where you see the guy fly fishing out on the other side, and then that john boat where the guy's putting the anchor in, right in between there is that little channel. And what happens is when the water's flowing, you'll just see this tons of water just flowing through, but then you'll see some slow water. It's sort of like a little seam, and you'll see the guide boats and other boats just kind of anchor right there or position themselves right into that current and start fishing for the striped bass. And yeah, last weekend they were killing them. They were definitely killing them. It was awesome. Yeah, yours truly was on this side, and I was mainly fishing along this rocky area, fishing left and right, parallel to the bank, if not acute angles to the bank, getting most of my hits and kind of staying where the water was slower. The water flow was slower, closer to the bank versus further in. I kept casting out, and it would hit the bottom and immediately hook or get snagged. Other thing is you want to go down further, and you probably have a better chance there for maybe some of the bigger fish. At least that's what we've been learning so far. Okay. Right now, with no generation flow or whatnot, you pretty much have to kind of play it by ear and kind of work the different pockets. And there were a bunch of kayakers here this morning. They all went downriver except for a few now. And then you could still see a couple of boats and guide boats back there fishing. And it looks like they've been doing pretty good. Here it's been hit or miss. It was mainly a steady flow or steady action on striped bass with topwater lures. Okay, here's an individual that is fly fishing over here by the rocks, but I can't tell if he snagged something or if he's got something. Let's go check it out. All right, and howdy. I hope we're staying connected here. Tried this earlier and kept getting cut off, so just gonna stream from my phone and see how it goes. Okay. All right, and certainly call out anything if you have any questions. Denison Dam, Texas, Red River on the Texas side, Oklahoma side being that way. All right. I'm mainly just kind of scouting around to see if anyone's getting a bite or two. So far, it looks pretty quiet. I do feel like taking out some bait and whatnot and put a circle hook on and just kind of throw it in there, see if a big gar will take it. I lost my biggest gar out here, and then I lost another one last week when I snagged him on a rattle trap. Probably went about maybe 4 foot. But yeah, that happens. Okay. And there's the dam proper, where they up there is the dam, and this is the power plant. And then when they discharge water, it'll come out through that spillway here on the right. Okay. I don't really know if there's anything coming out in the middle section. It's always been coming out through that area right there where there's some concrete. That's where they call the Texas wall over here on the left. And then the Oklahoma wall is the left wall, sort of like the middle wall of the one on the left to the middle to the right. Yeah. And yeah, that's why we bring our surf rods out here, is able to hit that wall and get into the money zone when it comes to some fish. Okay. And so you can see where there's a bunch of rocks there. It's very shallow. I've seen some folks just kind of wading in that area. So it's fairly shallow. Let's see. Don't really see anybody hooking up with anything right now. So it's a quiet bite. Slow bite. Okay. And just keep scanning the area. All right. All right. I'm just out here checking things out. All right. Let me move back a little bit and head back over here. Yeah, got a little wind and it's sunny right now, but they said it's supposed to have a thunderstorm hit us later this afternoon. Okay, I just saw something kind of boil up here in the middle. Couldn't tell if that was a shad or a school of shad going by. All right, well, we got some fly fishermen out there too. Usually you could work those different pockets and get some consistent bites out there. Today, I don't know, but we're learning this river again now that they kind of redid it with all that dredging. I actually, when I was fishing the Oklahoma side earlier this year, if not last year, I think it was, saw some of those heavy machinery in the river itself, just clearing out rocks and building up this wall now, or this concrete embankment, or not concrete, this rock wall. All right, so there's a set of rocks here, then it dips down, and then there's like a walkway area, and then it dips down again down to the river. All right, and I'd go down there and show you, but then we're gonna lose connectivity here. All right. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, we're doing good here. Just kind of scanning to make sure I can answer the mail if anyone has any questions. Okay. Oh yeah. So if you plan on coming out, I would say plan for the generation schedule, which is later on this evening, about 4 or 5 o'clock. But a heads up, there may be some thunderstorms to contend with also. So got to play that by ear also. You know. Other than that, yeah, I'll just chill out here with me while I just check out the bite. Give it about a few before I call it and we head back to the casa. I did get one striped bass given to me by another fisherman. It was deep hooked on top water lure, and instead of throwing it back, I graciously volunteered to keep him so I could cook him later tonight. It was nice. Sure beats coming home without anything. All right. But you know, it's the atmosphere, the nature, being out in the wilds. But it always feels good having a fish to bring home too. Yeah, personally speaking, I do see some looks like some dead fish in the water. Look like some shad and whatnot, and probably got messed up when they went through the generation turbines or whatever, and really got that going. So, yeah. I am surprised there's a bunch of people close to the dam. I didn't think it could go past the that little restricted area sign, but I do know you can go up over there to the wall and fish, just you can't go past the fencing. I didn't know about the river. That's new to me. All right. See anybody on the chat? Let's see. Oh, no. Okay. All right, well. Just chilling here on a river in Texas. And I'll call out anything if I see anyone catch a fish. We'll definitely call it out. Here, let me see if I can find a spot to sit. I'm on the overlook here, and the reason why I'm up here versus down there giving you a rundown is because you definitely lose connectivity on your mobile phone if you get close to or down by the river, because I'd say it's a pretty good drop here to get down there. Okay, let me see if I can get situated. There we go. All right, how about that view? Let's see if we get someone to catch a fish here. Okay, this is Denison Dam when they are not generating. Let's go back this way. All right, hey, give me a view upriver. Okay, this is the Texas side. That's the Oklahoma side. Power plant, the dam's up there. Discharge area is right there. And a lot of the rocks and everything that they used to have in the river are gone now. So it's a whole different river, so you gotta relearn it. But I am seeing some spots to key in on. You got the rocky area here, so what you want to do is kind of mark off spots. So see, you got 1, 2, 3 stairwells. Third stairwell over here, straight out is where the rocks are. To the right, as well as straight out, a little bit to the left as you go out. You can see where the individual standing, he's about, what is it, hip, thigh level. So you can see how deep it is right now. Okay, and then you can see out to my right, over here, there's an area right here that's shallow. So it's like it drops, and then as it goes in the water, it's like a little shelf right here. Then it dips down again, just on this section, okay? And that is, if you key off the parking area, Oklahoma side, just straight over, that'll tell you that's where the beginning of it is. And then it kind of goes all the way down till you get to these rocks and get even over here to my right, okay? So these are some of the things that you want to key off of, all right? So next time I come down, I know that if I go down the third well, there's going to be some rocks right in front of me. If I go down to where I'm even with the parking area just across on the Oklahoma side, I know there's the start of a shelf area that's going to run down parallel, basically all the way down to my right. And then just off the parking area, right where the rocks start over here, where they now launch their boats, they cleared that up. There's just underwater, you can see there's a sandbar, and there's an individual sitting on there right now. And that sandbar goes all the way over to where you can see these folks on a beach area. So when the river goes up, it's actually going to go all the way up to those rocks at times, right by the parking area. The last time we came here, when they were discharging water from the dam proper, it was all the way up there. So you can get a good feel for that slope as well as that sandbar and where the fish may be congregating. Then again, you got the point over here to my right. Now you've got a little shelf area, and then there's actually 2 dark spots just in the water, about mid-river here, right there, and then right over here, okay? So that tells me there's some kind of shallower area, and that kind of explains what I was seeing last weekend when the water was just flowing like crazy. And then there was a little split seam where the water was moving slower. It's sort of like circulating within that beach area. And where that boat is right now, the guide boats as well as recreational fishermen were posting their boats right along that seam, and they were fishing downriver, and they were definitely killing them there. Oh yeah. But right now they say most of the striped bass are downriver. So if you want to go for some of the bigger ones, go further downriver. Here at the tail race proper, you pretty much wait until they start generating, but you do have that opportunity, as we saw this morning, to get the morning bite in top water using, in this case, it looked like a popper. Yeah, I tried a pencil popper, the old school pencil popper with the little BBs in there, and I could cast a mile with it, but didn't get anything. And then I switched out to another, another popper, one of the old bomber mullets that I used to use on the coast for redfish and speckled trout. And then, let's see, some rattle traps, and got nothing other than I did have one, it looked like a little striped bass, go for the rattle trap, as well as I believe I may have foul hooked a shad that threw the hook on me. So, all right, what do we got here? Okay, all right, so yeah, do call out anything if you're on here. I don't know how much engagement we'll get today. I think a lot of folks have other things to do this Saturday, but certainly if you want to come fishing over here at Denison Dam, this is what it's like right now. All right, Saturday, July 12th. Okay. All right, and if you have any questions, if I have an answer, I'll answer it. If I don't know, I'll let you know I don't know. Maybe reach out to others that may know. Okay. All right. Gear that I typically use, I brought two rods today. A surf casting one, the Okuma 12-foot breakaway rod, and then a Shakespeare Ugly Stick 7-footer, both with, one had the fluger reel, the other one had a pen reel on it. And yeah, just was not the action I was hoping for, but we certainly got out here. Now we got a guy in this John boat fly fishing with the hat. Got another individual here on his kayak. Looks like he's fly fishing too, I think. No, he's looks like he's got a spinning rod. And then we have a fly fisherman to the left, and then we have another, look like a bait caster here right in front of me, right by those rocks. And if you see how they are in the water, this guy is about knee deep, the one in the waders, okay? And then the one in the shorts, he's about thigh deep, if not just above knee deep. So you can see it's not very deep in some of these areas, all right? So it's a different river if you've not been here before, since after they dredged it up. But it's certainly get an opportunity to catch a fish at times when they are here. Okay. All right, again, just checking here, see if anyone has any questions, comments. Just want to chill with me while I hang out on the rocks here at Denison Dam. Oh, man. Yeah. One of those days. Lazy days. Lazy day of summer. Okay. All right, let's see. Kind of watching over here. Maybe, oh, there's a guy with a fish right there. It's like one with a striped bass on his hand. Yeah. That's a keeper. Actually, there's no size limit here, so it's a keeper. All right. Yeah, fun stuff. Okay. All right, well, I think I'm gonna shut her down, and we'll go ahead, head back to the casa and maybe do a little cooking of that striped bass that I got. In fact, here, I'll show you the striped bass real quick before I call the stream. Get off these rocks here, bear with me. Okay. Just working my way on these rocks. They are loose, so you gotta be careful. Step lightly. Okay. All right. Almost there. Okay. All right, let's go around. All right. And you can see there's a lot of construction going on. longest time they had this parking area closed off, so you really couldn't fish it. And they opened it up, I think, about 3-4 weeks ago. All right. I'll have to go get me a bag of ice and throw it on ice. So I didn't catch this one. Someone else caught it and was deep hooked. So there it is right here. Okay, so little striped bass, about 18 inch. So cheaper to keep. We'll cook that up tonight. I'm thinking maybe try frying it up, steak them. I like them staked. All right. Okay, well, let's do one more look in case someone hooks into one. Okay, this guy's further in the water. Looks like he's about hip deep now. So it's gradually dropping off. Good to know. I do see some dark areas that give you a heads up that there's some rocks there. Okay. All right, well, like I was saying, you go to the third stairwell, there's a set of rocks right in front of you. Cut to the right, you get even with the parking area, the Oklahoma side, and you're going to start seeing this shelf come up along the bank. All right. So it's these times when you hit your local tail race and kind of learn the contour, being that it's changed since they did all the dredging work and whatnot. Ooh, something just jumped over there to the right. Holy cow. That looked like a striped bass. Okay. This one had something roll on them too. Okay. All right, well, appreciate you guys joining, and we're going to call it. And do stay tuned. We'll keep doing more of these videos.